This is the Apocalypse Survival Guide. We are here to help you survive the apocalypse. Which apocalypse, you ask? All of them, from A to Z. Each week we cover a different type of apocalypse and give you advice on how to survive. The rules are simple. We pick an apocalypse depicted in a movie and cover how you could survive that type of apocalypse. So stock up on supplies and get ready to survive.
Yeah, I'm in a good position, I think.
Hi, I'm Drew.
I'm Frank.
Welcome to the bunker. This week, very first week, we're going to start with the letter A, and A is for aliens. More specifically, this week we're going to start with the alien apocalypse movie Signs, that classic from M. Night Shyamalan. I use classic loosely, about aliens that invade the Earth. Basically, if you don't remember, you want to go back and watch, but humanoid aliens descend from the heavens to Earth to try to take people. Nobody's 100% sure.
They
Not
didn't
really
last
sure.
long enough, but
Didn't let,
they're
yeah.
there for something.
But they were definitely there for something. Basically, going to kind of just kind of go point by point to start off with the strength of the enemy. All right. Kind of made some notes here. Going to kind of go through it. It appears that if you had to face this enemy, they jump quickly.
Yeah.
They're strong and they're fast.
Climb houses.
Houses.
Yep.
Climb roofs. They could jump. They ran through the cornfield fast.
What was the younger brother's name?
I don't remember.
Played by
Joaquin. Yeah.
Yeah, he was all-star baseball player. Chased him around the house.
Yeah.
Caught up to him. He comments on how extremely athletic, extremely fast, that thing, and then scaled the house like Jackie Chan.
Yeah. It like extreme parkour, just up and over that house. Apparently, he can only do that at the beginning of the film because at the end he decided not to. But apparently, if you had to face this, they were pretty quick. Apparently, fast.
Maybe one guy's parkour skills are stronger than the other.
That's true. That's true. Maybe that was the parkour alien.
Yeah.
And then the alien later was non-parkour.
Like the one dude from one of those Die Hard movies that jumps around and shit all the time.
There you go.
He's a parkour guy.
He's a parkour guy. Yeah. And he's like, all right, I'm done. I've surveilled. Parkour's over. You guys go grab some humans. I'll be chilling back at the ship.
I'm tired.
Give me a hot cup of coffee, whatever they drink. I'm tired. I've been parkouring for the last fucking week.
I think they drink water.
Well, they hopefully didn't drink water.
Anyway.
Another strength, they make domestic animals go crazy and violent. Now, they didn't quite explain why, but you remember in the film, the one dog attacked the kids, and he had to stab it with the grill fork.
That's
and then the sheriff, I don't know if she was a sheriff or not, but the police lady came, and she said that several animals were getting violent and weirded out by the aliens.
Yeah, at first it just seemed like the animals were just almost in defense mode.
Right. Something weird was out there.
Right, but then they started attacking their own owners. Something else was up.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's just some animals reacting or they just have the ability to turn the animals against the people.
That's what it just occurred to me. Maybe they have some sort of mind control over the lower level intelligence type creatures.
Maybe you should put an aluminum hat on your dog.
Yeah.
Don't know if that would help.
Yeah.
But remember, if you do that, you got to cut the ear holes. You don't want to cover their ears.
Fits, right.
So it fits. Another strength is they can cloak and turn invisible.
Yeah, that was a big strength.
And their ships can also cloak and turn invisible. So you're dealing with an enemy that you can't always see.
Right.
The ship could be above your house and it's invisible. They could be standing outside your house, 20, 30 of them, and they could all be cloaked or invisible. Didn't 100%, get into it, but they obviously could blend into their surroundings. You never see them until they moved. They were chameleon-like, so obviously that's a strength that you got to think about.
Right. I think another one that in a certain part of the movie, the army recruiter guy or marine, I'm not sure which one he was speaking about how applying it to military tactics, how they are sending in the foot soldiers just in small groups, seemingly only one at a time, to do recon before they brought in the mass forces. So they do have some sort of strategic type intelligence as well, not just,
Right. Yeah, they didn't
they
just
send
land and open the door, so to speak, and wave after wave of
Right.
alien chameleons come pouring out to try to take over the planet. They
some strategy.
yes, they came in, they dropped their scouts or whatever they did. I don't know if they stayed in the air or landed their ship, but let's just say they dropped their scouts out, they dropped their recon guys. We're talking military terms, and they went out and they probed and they investigated. What are we dealing with? Who are we facing? What are we going to do? So that is obviously they're attempting to apply some tactics, some not just drop in and let's get them and then oh shit, So that is a strength. Another strength is they have a poison tube on their wrist that I'm going to refer to as a poison dick tube because it appears to me that they got a little dick that extrudes from their wrist and shoots out a poison gas. It didn't appear to be sticky, but it was a poison gas that they would use to kill their victims.
We never even establish if it's to kill them or if it's to subdue them, because it's mentioned somewhere in the movie about possible harvesting.
Yeah, dragging them
humans.
away. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a knockout, but I mean, I guess I'll base it. Well, again, going back to the rules, is we'll just base off what the movie shows, and they make it sound like he was trying to poison the kid, the little Culkin kid, and he didn't ingest the poison because of his asthma, and that it didn't get in his lungs, and then the EpiPen saved his life because then he start breathing, blah blah blah. So I guess we're gonna have to go with again. So it appears to be a poison. It appears to be, and maybe it does kill him, and then they drag him back and they harvest, them,
Oh, right. Yeah.
dead like an animal. I don't know what they use it for. We don't know.
I'm assuming that by harvest, it means alive, but not necessarily. So, yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna call that, because anytime I guess you can have a dick tube on your wrist and you can just walk up and gotcha, you can gas somebody. I guess that's got to be a strength. That's all I had for strengths. Can you think of anything else?
Strengths. Yeah, I think you hit them.
Obviously weaknesses. This is if you're going to survive. These are the more important things you got to look at.
Know your enemy.
You got to know your enemy. They use crop circles to navigate. I get the idea of the crop circles because it ties in with all the creepy crop circles, but you're telling me you flew millions of miles through outer space,
Yeah.
and the best way you can communicate is to carve signs into the ground, like, "Hey, go this way. Eat at Joe's with an arrow." I mean,
Yeah. Seems a little rudimentary for the type of intergalactic
Yes, intergalactic.
navigational skills it would take just to get to our planet.
yes,
And that is to assume that they came from even another solar system. I mean, even if they're in the same galaxy. But I think we've covered it clearly enough with the satellites that we have, or not satellites, but the probes we sent out. I don't think anybody's living on Pluto.
No,
I just jaunted
no.
over here from Pluto. I think they're probably outside of our solar system. So that means they made it all the way here, but then they get here and they're like, holy shit, the sphere is really just...
It's just too much for us.
We can't handle it. So let's start putting these weird things on the ground.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
to tell people where to go.
And even we'll say they're from another solar system. We'll just go with that. Every solar system that we look at has planetoids. They're all round balls. That's just how they're made. They're not flat. They've never found any flat discs out there. Everything's round. Everything's maybe jagged, but it's round basically. So they've obviously come from a round world.
Right.
Did they just fucking carve notes into the ground everywhere?
Is
And
that how they do it at their
yeah,
place?
yeah. I mean, they don't have any.
Or look at it this way. Maybe they come here and they think the same thing about us. Where are all these green and white things standing up on sticks out of the ground everywhere? We use signs.
Well, that's true.
We use signs to get everywhere we go.
That's true.
So, I mean,
But
yeah,
they do have an audible language because obviously, and that kind
Right,
of goes
right.
to my next weakness is their radio signals. I'm not sure if it was radio signals or if it was their communication could be picked up by a baby monitor. I mean, think about that. You just flew across the galaxy or at least from one solar system to another. We can't do that. We cannot do that. Somehow they've mastered that, which is huge. And they can't fucking communicate. See, Navy SEALs don't have to worry about the fucking baby monitor going off. Oh, shit, they hear us. We're going, oh fuck, our ops busted.
Yeah.
And we're stupid humans on one fucking ball.
That we can't get off
That we can't get off of safely. Well, we could, but you're not going to live.
Yeah.
If you want to, strap yourself to a rocket and shoot it off into
Certainly
space.
can't leave the solar system yet.
And these motherfuckers can leave a solar system and they can't fucking come up with a radio communication that a baby monitor can't pick up? I mean, what the fuck is that? That is definitely a weakness. I mean, you can't, and then you can't transmit, instead of a big sign like aliens are coming, how about you have some coded radio frequencies that nobody picks up?
And if it is in fact possible for them to control the animals, that indicates a not psychokinesis. What is that with mind control?
Oh, is it telekinesis or
there
no?
you go, telekinesis.
Or is that moving stuff with your mind?
Maybe that is moving stuff. Whichever.
Telepathy, maybe
it's
something.
when you can. So you're telling me they can't just talk with their own minds? That seems like a pretty plausible jump that they can speak between their own. But anyway, they can't. In the movie, they can't. They're idiots. They have to use baby monitors. Or at least a frequency that is so rudimentary to us that it's picked up by a baby monitor.
And granted, I guess we don't know what they're saying. It's not like you're picking up like two guys saying, you go through the front, I'll go through the rear, and they're coming. But you hear them coming. You hear them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't. I don't know.
And I don't think that we can arrive at the hypothesis that Mel Gibson and his family are the smartest people on the planet, and they're the ones that solve this whole damn thing. Because really, we focus on this one family, and
you have to focus. Yeah,
they more or less solve the entire mystery just within that little vacuum of a family that we see in the movie.
Yes,
they solve the communication problem. They kind of realize what the crop signs are. The ultimate weakness they find. I mean, come on. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So so not to downplay this family but other families, other groups, other intelligent people, and I believe at the end of the film when he turns the TV on, they say something about somewhere in the Middle East, some people with I think they say like medieval or ancient technology, some type of figured out how to get rid of them. It's mentioned on the TV. But the point is, they were retreating because they were saying that they figured out a way to beat them. So somebody else has figured out how to beat these aliens. These intelligent, I would be using air quotes if you could see me, that flew from solar system to solar system were defeated.
Maybe they're not intelligent though.
But you can. How do you fly from solar system to solar system?
Think about how many idiot drivers are on the road.
That's true.
They make it from their house to the grocery store, and they're fucking morons.
Are you saying
maybe these are the fucking morons? These are the idiot drivers of the solar system. Hey, let's drive these spaceships. Oh, we found another planet. I don't know how we got here, but we got here. We crashed into 7 people on the way, by the way, but we're here.
Are you saying that these potentially are the short bus aliens? That they may or may not have had helmets on, they weren't on the football team, they licked the windows.
They're the short bus.
They're the short bus aliens.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. Their spaceships can light up at night, which obviously makes sense, except for when you light up before you attack to be like a wave. Hey, guys, aliens here.
Exactly.
Coming to get you in a couple days.
But we never determine whether they're just benign. Maybe they're like, hey guys, we're coming down. We're gonna
gas dick you, wrist dick you, and
wrist dick you. That's the term used. Wrist dick.
Wrist dick.
That's the best.
I'm gonna wrist dick you.
Wrist dick you. Maybe we can grab a Coke.
Grab a Coke. It's all in good fun. Who doesn't want a good wrist dicking? Maybe that's how they say hello. They walk up, they wrist dick you. You wake up and you're like, hey man.
again, another species. Maybe wrist sticking to them is very complimentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. They can't escape a locked pantry.
Oh
They,
yeah.
they again. They've
Oh,
mastered
yeah.
interstellar travel, but a doorknob.
Yeah.
They
Well,
can't. How do I fucking work a
they can't
doorknob?
figure out doorknobs. They definitely. I would have to say there's probably no doorknobs in their spaceship.
No, there might be like Star Trek futuristic sliding doors when they walk up, but you would think that somewhere they're humanoid or hominoid, whatever. They're 2 legs, 2 arms. They walk the same way. They use their arms to grab stuff, so they're not like gelatinous or like tentacles. They had
And
like
they have-
3 fingers and a thumb. They had opposable
Yeah.
thumb, if I remember.
There you go.
You don't grab shit. In their planet, you don't grab anything.
Right.
He grabs the kid and he tries to wrist stick him.
That's a great point. It having
So you can't
an
figure
opposable
out
thumb and separated phalanges tells you that they are they're designed, created, and on their planet that they actually grab things. I don't know. Maybe they just don't fucking. Maybe
Isn't
they
that?
haven't
I mean, that's a
invented
basic
doorknobs.
mechanical, physical device that you grab and you turn and oh shit, I'm free. I'm free. Did you have to like call for backup? I'm in a pickle. They got me in a trap. Where am I? I'm in the pantry. Not the
diabolical
pantry.
trap.
They put you in the pantry. Fuck. He's got her.
Well-
He's a goner.
What? Hey, Bob. Last time I was in a pantry, I just stuck my fingers in the door, got me right out. Try that.
And that's apparently a kitchen knife. Now
Yeah.
we either all worked in a kitchen making something or we've seen somebody worked in a kitchen. I think that's a pretty
Yeah.
fair statement. We've all used a kitchen knife. I've cut myself occasionally with a kitchen knife. You've probably cut yourself. Almost everyone's out there has either been cut or seen somebody cut. I've never seen 2 fucking fingers get lopped off by a kitchen knife with
That
that
quick.
much ease.
Yeah,
Like,
just-
not the fact that he, like, whoa, defensively, Mel Gibson, if you remember, the little alien tried to grab him underneath the pantry door, and he, like, defensively swiped down, which is human reaction. I get it. Not cuts his hand. You know, oh shit, I got him. He cuts 2 fucking fingers off. What are they made of? Fucking styrofoam? I mean, think about it. You can take a kitchen knife, even a sharp one, or watch those cooking shows. I watch cooking shows sometimes, and they'll professional chefs with those really sharp knives, and they're, you know, in a competition, they're moving fast. Yeah, and they'll cut themselves. It's a bad cut, but they don't lose a fucking finger.
Right. They wrap it up and they move on, just as you have done. We've cut ourselves.
Yeah, you cut yourself, you
Gash
wrap it up.
yourself.
Worst
Sometimes-
case, get a
sometimes down to
stitch.
the bone. You're like, oh, that sucks. You
Worst
wrap
case,
it
some
up
people
and
need
keep going.
stitches, depending on, you know, whatever.
Took those fingers right off.
Took them off. 2
So-
fingers right off.
That also tells us that they are susceptible to
Edged weapons. Very susceptible.
penetrating wounds.
Penetrating wounds.
We'll call it penetrating wounds.
Yes.
Because if you can cut off a finger, that indicates that your outer shell, whatever it is, can be penetrated.
And jumping to the end of the movie, they use a baseball bat, which is a blunt attack weapon, and he's able to, as this super fast, strong alien stands there, to let Joaquin Phoenix pummel the shit. Not just listen. If it was like a fucking like he cracks him and he's staggered, and then you just like a fucking L.A. riot, and you just see him fucking just ass whooping this motherfucker. Okay,
Right.
I got it. You stun
Right.
him. It's like a fight. But he's like standing, they're dancing around each other.
And
And I think at one point he even like points a
Points
bat
the
at him,
bat
like,
at
I'm
him.
gonna fucking beat you.
Yep.
Where is this fast, strong, wrist dick alien like
that can hide against any material.
is gonna
that's in his
stand there
background.
and let this crazy motherfucker beat the shit out of him with the baseball
Especially
bat?
after the first one. What is that odd thing he's holding? He said, "Oh shit, that hurt."
Yeah.
I'm gonna run in this other room and then stand up against the wall and hide.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm just gonna stand here and take it.
I'm gonna take it like I'm Alien Man.
And then, of course, their ultimate weakness.
Their ultimate weakness, water kills them. And
Water.
would you agree
we don't
that
have any of that.
would you agree that when it pours on them, it has an acid-like effect? So
Yes.
we call waters like acid to them.
And another thing to go along with that. Did you see what it as it kind of burns away? It has a reddish tint to his flesh underneath.
Yes.
Greenish on the outside, whatever, alien color on the outside. But then when it goes through, it's a reddish type of flesh, which would be similar to human, which goes to the fact that it's a humanoid. But
And
it's
obviously
not,
they-
it's not a that tells us some things. It's not an energy based creature.
No.
It's
Nope.
not a it's not, let's just hypothesize that aliens can be made out of like rock or several other types of material. No, it seems to be almost, well, I won't say muscular, but it's flesh-like.
Yeah, flesh-like. I would assume, I'm only assuming that they need oxygen to survive because they're on an oxygenated planet, similar to us, so they have a similar chemical, not chemical makeup, but you know what I mean? Similar because they need the same atmosphere.
That just made me think of something else. You're absolutely right, and I don't recall ever seeing a breathing apparatus.
No, it wasn't like they were like a
On their
suit.
face.
They
Yeah.
were. I'm not saying they're naked, but they were just whatever. If that was a chameleon suit or whatever, there was no tanks. It looked like there was any type of filter. It looked like they were just big-eyed with nose and mouth. I think kind of like they kind of look like was it the Greys they call them, like the aliens, the typical.
Yeah, just
they kind of
straight
resembled
aliens.
that
Right,
kinda.
Yeah.
And they had 2 legs, 2 arms, and a wrist stick. I mean that's
The wrist stick.
and a wrist stick.
That's your accessory.
1 or 2, who knows? But so one of their major weakness is water kills them.
Water.
It's like acid. And here's the they came to a planet. 71% of Earth is water. 71%. That's like me and you saying, we're going to go conquer some fucking aliens. Where are we going to go? How about that planet with all made of acid or lava?
That acid planet.
That acid planet. Let's go to that one.
Let's start there. Let's start in a place that we can't even set foot on. That's completely and totally inhospitable. And let's start there.
Not only is it 71% acid to them, but we have water everywhere. Think about it. It's not just like, okay, well, yeah, there's lakes of lava or lakes of acid, but you go onto the land masses and there's none of it. So, okay, yeah, you take your risks. Just don't go near the lakes. Don't go near the water, the acid, the lava. But we use it every day. We've got it pouring out of a fucking tap in the fucking house. You take dumps in it and you flush the shit. we need water. And then that makes me wonder, is it every liquid? So why are they taking people that are 90-something% water? Technically, your blood, but why do they need people made of water?
Right, because as soon as they open us up, since we're so greatly made of water,
let's say they're harvesting.
Should be acid to them.
Yes, if we're like food, let's say we're like food to them. I don't know, who knows? Or maybe who knows? They're going to harvest us. It's like imagine, as gross as it sounds, skinning an animal, skinning a deer. As soon as you cut them, you get blood on you. So either A, they have protective equipment that they use, which why the fuck you wouldn't wear it when you're invading?
Exactly.
Or B, I don't know what the fuck they want. They're just retarded.
Or maybe they just treat soldiers the way we treat soldiers. All right, Grunt, get down there.
Go wrist dick some humans and hope you come back alive.
Here's your only weapon, if it is even in fact a weapon or not just a biological part of your body. But here's your wrist stick. Go do recon.
And here's the
That's
thing.
what we do with our
Let's say
soldiers.
the wrist stick is a normal people other than the asthmatic kid. You wrist stick somebody, they're out. You got them. They haven't come up with some type of a ball like you throw in and it breaks and it wrist stick gases every. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they hold up. All right, motherfuckers. We flew from solar system to solar system. You think we're just gonna kick in the door? And you're gonna board up the house, and we're not gonna. Oh yeah, we can't get in because you put boards up. Oh
Holy shit, you boarded up.
They don't have some type of fucking
Damn
like
it.
a SWAT team,
Got us with the boards.
a police SWAT team who is local and doesn't have the funding to fly from solar system that has gas grenades. I'm sure that they wrote. Hey, oh, you want to come out of the house? Here's some gas. You're gonna fucking come out of the house. These motherfuckers can't come up with some type of gas pellet, some type of fucking spray that they can. Wrist dick in through a window.
It would be like us invading a planet. Number one, as we said, is covered in acid. Everything is acid. Acid comes out of the main source of life of the creatures on that planet is acid to us. We invade a planet like this with a knife in our hand.
Yes.
We'd be like because the wrist stick doesn't go very far.
No.
And it seems
pointy
to be the only
stick.
weapon.
I don't want to say a pointy stick.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take my stick and sharpen this up, and let's go take a planet. Let's go.
And not even a long stick where you have any reach. It's like a really short stick that you got to like get up right up on somebody.
Because if that thing had any
projectile,
range to
any
it,
type of
if it had
projectile
any
weapon,
range to it, he would have gassed everyone in the room.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He gasses just the kid he's holding in his hand.
He's got to get up close and wrist stick him.
Yeah.
Up close to wrist stick. How about projectiles? You tell me you mastered, and I'm gonna say mastered because we can't do it. You mastered space travel, but you don't have a rock to throw, a fucking
Even a rock,
slingshot,
you
a
got a slingshot,
bow and arrow. I'm not
Yeah.
even talking about phaser laser guns. I'm talking about or lightsabers. Anything crazy. I'm just talking a rock. So when they're far away and you can like hit them in the head and just piss them off, then run up and wrist stick them something.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Uh,
What the fuck?
so I don't even know where it's going. Well, here's one thing we do know: old Two Fingers does eventually get out of the pantry.
Yes,
That's who we got at the end there.
Two Fingers gets out of the pantry. He escapes. Now whether he finally figures it out or they have to send in reinforcements.
Maybe he had too many fingers to open the door. I don't know. Now that he was down to only two, he was good to go.
But I wonder how'd they get out?
How did he get out? It's a good question.
Did they have to get enough aliens to bust in the door?
And you never see more than one of them in one place at a time either. That's another thing.
Right.
They
You can
almost illustrate that there's several outside the house when they're coming into
when they finally they come and then the dog gets killed. It's outside because they forgot him,
Yeah.
and then you could hear several footsteps. We're gonna call them. They're running around the house. They're checking, banging, trying to get in. Obviously, there's more than one. It's not just Two Fingers coming to get you. You know what I mean? It's not just one guy per house who's gonna wrist stick everybody. Obviously, they sent out a whole force that's gonna go out there and take people. So.
Okay, so they're communicating. Right. I don't know. And then they just leave one behind.
And no, again, you can you can fly from solar system, and no way to breach, no way to take down doors, no way to. And I understand that. They want the people. They're harvesting people. That's at the end what they think they're there for. So you don't want to just fly your ship over and shoot your laser beam, we'll say, and demolish the house because you just lost what you're after. Okay, fair enough. But you've got no way to take down a door other than to fucking bang on it and wrist stick people?
Let's think about this, though. Maybe their planet, they don't have structures. Maybe they live in whatever natural landscape they have. Let's just to put a word on it, caves. Let's say their planet is made of natural structures or natural type of things that they can live in, and they live in caves and they don't have a structure. So they don't understand our weird square boxes that we live in. They don't understand our, doors with handles, and it's completely alien to them. Nah.
But they could develop spaceships.
Yeah, but they do have spaceships.
Yeah, that's kind of
I
yeah.
don't know.
I mean, if it had been one thing,
Maybe they're really
this would have made more sense if, well, maybe not, but because it's M. Night Shyamalan, like we were digging a cave and all of a sudden, what are these wrist stick creatures that live in here? Oh my god! And they came out and tried to take over the world. They fucking created spaceships.
They flew here.
They flew here
Yeah, they have
faster
some
than
technology.
light, or maybe not, but they at least have some type of hibernation, or maybe they live forever. But the point is they figured out how to fly through the immense vacuum of space with all the dangers out there of little rocks puncturing your ship and you losing whatever you have for breathability, and you die. They figured out how to do this in mass. Because remember they showed the footage over Mexico. I think it was there was
there was
7, 8 ships there,
there's
and they
several.
were saying they're all over like India and different all over the world.
Right.
So hundreds of ships.
What was it? They say how many major cities. I'm just going to throw out a number. I think it was around 200 some major cities around the world.
Let's say 10 ships, 200 major cities,
That's 2,000 ships.
2,000
Let's
ships.
just travel
That's a
across-
coordinated
Yeah.
move to someplace to do something, and you can't fucking figure out a structure.
Door.
A door. Fuck these doors. It's like they were made for oh wait, we have fingers and hands and opposable thumbs.
Oh.
Fuck you,
Still
people. I'm
can't-
gonna wrist stick you.
My wrist stick can't open this door.
My wrist stick can't open the door.
Now, okay, you can't. Now that we know, or that we've touched on the fact that water is their number one weakness, you're telling me that out of these 200 cities, or wherever, they're all over the world, that it's not fucking raining anywhere?
Oh, yeah.
It has to be raining somewhere.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that.
So wherever it starts raining, even if they didn't realize it before, let's just say they land here and they're like,
They checked the Weather Channel app and it showed 0% chance of rain.
Yeah.
Or they watched the local weatherman and he's like, "There's a no chance of rain today." The alien's like, "Fuck yeah, we're going." Because the weatherman's never wrong.
It's like putting a roof on your house. You're like, okay, what weekend are we going to do?
Oh, this is a good weekend. Let's roof. No, 0% chance of rain.
This is the weekend for invasion, guys. Let's hide in. Let's cloak our ships around the moon here and wait. Oh yes, we got a no rain day. Everybody go. But that is, even if that's the case, that's to say that they know that water is poison.
Yes.
I mean, I almost want to think that they came here not knowing water was poison. They're like, oh, well, it's got liquid on it. Well, we'll give it a shot. Oh, shit. That stuff burns.
Again, but here's the thing. I would almost give them a pass if all of a sudden the movie started with, like, there's lights in the sky. Like, what are these things? Like, the people are watching the TV, and then next thing you know, what's that out in the field? Oh, a ship lands. Holy shit, here comes these chameleon-ristic creatures. And I'm serious. Imagine this. They flew in, they landed, and they're like, fuck you people, woo! And they just charged in to grab everybody. They did no recon.
Right.
This fucking...
Full charge.
Yes. This ristic bastard isn't sneaking around the farm for a couple days, setting the mood. I understand, oh, what's going on? It's creepy. No. You just rushed in, and all of a sudden, oh, shit, what is this shit? It's acid. All right, fine. You didn't prepare. You just land like, fuck you, motherfuckers, and you come after them. Let's go. And, you could say, all right, they're gung-ho, they're coming. Yeah. No, they did research, so to speak. They probed. They're
doing recon, and your
who's
recon
here?
should tell you.
They made their stupid-ass crop circles. It's too fucking stupid to have a radio that transmits around. And another point, if they got ships over 200 major cities, that means they should have been able to establish some type of almost like a satellite system with their ships.
Yeah,
that'll
repeater system. This ship to that ship to that
communicate
ship,
around. Because I understand anyone who's watching Independence Day, you know what I'm talking about. You can't just transmit directly to the planet. You got to go around, and that's why we use satellites because we're a curved ball. We're not a flat Earth, in case anyone still believes that, which I've heard now is a thing. People believe the Earth is flat.
It is a resurgence.
It is a resurgence.
There might be some merit to it. I'm going to look into it.
I think we should spend some time
on that somewhere. One of the letters we'll touch on. Maybe I for idiots. No, it'd have to be F. F, yeah, for fucking idiots.
Fucking idiots.
Anyway.
But you have to transmit. But the ships are spread out over. They could use, like you said, a repeater system. Boop, 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 boop. No, they got to fucking build, fucking
Signs
crop circles, like
monitors.
And use baby monitors. But so okay, you bull rush. No, you landed. You dropped in, scouts. You recon. Oh, what's here? Oh, what's their danger? What strength do they have? They were, I use smart loosely about it because they did the right thing. Imagine, again, we go to a planet. And we're like, hey, this planet, we're going to see what's here. We're going to drop a couple guys. They're going to recon. We're going to communicate. That's the smart thing to do. That's legit what you would do. If we're in the bunker here and the aliens came down, we're not going to say, everybody, let's go outside and see what they want. You might send one or two guys.
Yeah.
They'd probe, they'd observe, they'd see, okay, they look friendly, or, they don't look friendly. What should we do? Come back, report. What do you think we should do? Let's make a plan of action. And that's what they did. But rain, I didn't even thought of rain. Fucking rain.
That's it. That's the deal breaker.
Seattle's the safest fucking city in the world. Everyone's going to be fucking drinking coffee at a Starbucks in Seattle going, fuck you and your wrist dick.
That's great. So after this invasion happens, the world is going to be ran by fucking Seattleites.
Hipsters from
Brits.
Seattle, yes.
And Brits.
Brits and hipsters from Seattle. Yeah, man, I got this coffee.
So this might actually be the worst fucking apocalypse
we
will cover in our entire series.
Only because who's probably going to survive? Hipsters.
Hipsters and Brits. God,
we're fucked.
We're totally fucked.
We're fucked.
Worst apocalypse ever. All right. I'm just going through some of the stuff I didn't know about. Okay. I was saying something about when they were talking about, do we stay home or do we go to the lake with the what?
M. Night Shyamalan, the vet.
Yeah. He was a vet. Okay, that's what I thought. So the vet. And I like how he interjects his creepy ass into the movie as a character. That's kind of
well, it's Hitchcockian. He's got to, I guess, throw himself in the.
I call it hubris, but okay.
Because Hitchcock. I mean, not that we'll get off topic, but Hitchcock was in all of his movies.
Yeah, I heard.
Some type of cameo. It was either, even if it was just a picture on a newspaper, he threw it in there.
Say, but though, then again, though, so is the beloved Stan Lee, and we'll never speak an ill word about him. So
We will not
Okay.
speak ill of Stan
okay,
Lee,
okay.
but he
So
is in every
I'll,
movie.
I'll give Shyamalan a pass.
But he's gonna. Yeah, he figured out to go towards water to a lake.
Yeah, they should have followed.
So apparently, a houseboat, you're pretty damn safe.
Yeah,
Although, if you're on an island, you're not, because if they can master flight, they can just land on the island. Unless they're just like, nah, too much work. No crops to draw stupid ass circles in to tell us to go this way.
exactly. It didn't seem like the recon guys had any capabilities of flying or anything. They were on their own. Like, you guys go down there and do your thing. And okay, let's get to when they actually hold themselves up in the house.
Well, that's under shelter.
Oh,
Do you want to go?
let's.
All right, I guess next we are gonna go through your survival basics. In case you need to survive, water. We all know that we need water to survive. What's the law of threes? 3 minutes. 3 minutes. You can survive without air.
3 minutes without oxygen.
3 days without water. 3 weeks without food. So we're gonna start air. I guess we could sit
Hours. 3 hours without shelter.
right. 3 hours without shelter.
3 hours without shelter.
All right,
Sorry,
so-
that's out of place, but it's out of order. But yeah, 3 hours without shelter.
3 hours without shelter.
Now
I always forget that one. I always think of oxygen, water, and food.
Yeah,
But,
now that's considering that the environment you're in is extremely hostile. Like you're in the tundra, 3 hours without shelter.
So I guess the first thing we'll cover is air. Air's fine. Air's not
Yeah.
not a factor.
If you find yourself in this particular apocalyptic situation with the Ristic aliens, you're good on air.
So you're good on air. Nothing to worry about there. You don't need a gas mask, no filters, nothing like that.
Okay.
So that's good. Water. No apparent problem with the water. Doesn't appear to be contaminated. They haven't done anything to it, so you can drink away whatever you have. You don't need to filter. You don't need to boil, other than maybe your normal survival type. Oh, it's dirty water. I should boil it just to be safe. I don't want to get sick. Whatever, blah blah blah. But your water's fine.
In this particular situation, your water's more than fine.
Water's more than fine. I guess the only
Your water's your weapon.
asterisk I would put next to water, and this is a dumb one, is you could drink it and it's a weapon. So you might, I don't know how much you have on you. You know what I mean? Like if you got a stash of water,
Yeah.
if
As
you're,
you
you're
should.
as you
Everyone.
should always have a stash of water. How much do you have? If you're only planning to drink it, now you got to decide.
Yeah. How
fuck.
important is it to drink, or how is important it for defense?
Defense. So it plays double in this part.
Ooh.
It's all safe. It's all good to use. Normal survival, boil it, whatever. If
That
it's
is an interesting twist to this
Yes.
particular one, because
Yes.
now your water becomes dual purpose, and it's already,
which is good.
It's already your most valuable commodity
Yes,
that you
it's
hoard
the
away.
biggest, heaviest thing to transport.
True.
So
Because it's
I
the
guess,
densest unless you're carrying around lead, but
well, yeah.
Anyway.
yeah. But you know what I'm saying. As far as your immediate, everyday survival, you need water. I guess, you have those life straws that you can drink water. I guess you could use that to try to drink shitty puddle water or whatever, and try to save your bottled waters as grenades,
or vice versa.
or vice versa.
What about you use your bottled water
and then fill it
your-
with dirty ass
and
water.
your gallon jugs. You drink what's the fresh water's in it, fill it up out of the pond, and now you have your grenades. And what would be the ultimate weapon in this situation?
You piss on them.
Ooh, that's a
Oh,
good one.
oh.
That way, it's a full cycle.
It's a full
You
cycle.
consume the water, and now I kill you. Hey, they're wrist sticking us.
They're wrist sticking us.
I don't think it's that.
Why can't we
insulting at all
dick
to
'em?
Yeah,
Fucking piss on them. You're gonna stick your little,
it was.
very small,
It was small.
very small wrist stick and gas me. I think it's only fair if a pack of them's coming, last resort, fuck you. Piss on them.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wrist stick to dick.
Fucking
dick.
wrist stick. Wrist stick to my dick.
That is a true dick measuring contest right there.
It is.
Who wins?
Who wins? Your little gas wrist stick or my little piss stick? It's not that little, I swear.
Yeah.
So water, those are consideration. Food, no issues with food as far as contaminants. They don't appear to be messing with anything. Obviously, you need to stock up on food. Obviously, minimum for everyone in any type of survival situation or even emergency situation, 72 hours of food for everyone there. I mean, that's your basic. In case of storms or whatever, obviously.
Yeah, that's not even talking about apocalypse.
No,
That's just natural
yes,
disasters.
if you are preparing for just everyone out there, hopefully,
Everybody.
I either come to this for whatever reason, we're serious about survival, serious about prepping, regardless of the, this
Yeah.
is just the
We're being
this is the scenario we're going to survive this week.
yeah
Is aliens from this movie, but you need food. A week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever you can. If you can at least start with 72 hours for everyone, for you and whoever lives with you, your family, whatever. 72 hours of food for everybody. So in case there's a snowstorm, in case there's a power outage, in case there's a disruption. Obviously, you want more. The more, the merrier. Freeze dried food, or whatever. But the point is that it's not contaminated. You don't have to worry about lack of food as far as it's destroyed or whatever you have on hand. But again,
and basically there is nowhere in the world that is not susceptible to some sort of natural disaster,
Yes.
whatever it might be. It could be, whatever region you're in. It could be tornadoes, it
Yep.
could be hurricanes, it could be earthquakes, it could be
tsunamis. Look at some of that tsunami stuff lately. If you're near the coast,
and even if you're in an area that doesn't have Mother Nature born natural disasters, you might have some sort of political or societal breakdown.
yes,
And I'm not saying this in an apocalyptic way. I'm saying like a third world country where there's a coup
Yep.
and one government takes over the other
Yeah.
and everything's fucked up for a couple weeks. Now, those people are just worried about eating it day to day, so I'm being a little bit insensitive. But the point is, wherever you live, you have the possibility of a natural disaster. So have, as you said, at least 72 hours worth.
at least 72 hours. Yes, absolutely.
water.
And water, food and water. You need your food and water. Trucks, snowstorm. I mean, if depending where you live, and I've lived in an area where there were snowstorms and everything was shut down. Trucks couldn't get to the stores. Stores got picked clean. And it wasn't like some oh my god apocalypse, people killing each other type of scenario. But you go in, you need to buy food, bread, milk, whatever. Oh shit, they're all cleaned out.
Oh, yeah.
Because
it
people
goes
are there
fast.
fast. So again, you need to prepare. You need to be. So, but the nice thing is that food is whatever you have on hand, whatever you can set aside, whatever you can go get. I guess before they try to kill you, try to wrist stick you, it's all safe. It's not contaminated. You don't have to worry about it like radiation or anything like that. So that's your food. Be prepared, but you don't have to worry about any special considerations as far as protecting your food. You just need to make sure you have it.
In this situation.
In this situation.
The Ristic aliens.
In the Ristic aliens.
Oh,
And
we're
again,
calling these the Ristic
and again, that's how
aliens.
we're, basing off the rules is this situation. Each situation is different. Each apocalypse is different. You gotta learn to survive each one different.
Which is what we will be going through every week.
Every week, A through Z.
That's our job here.
That's our job. Shelter. We're starting to hit on this. Nothing special.
No.
As far as it's not nuclear, it's not there's no chemical like in the air. Obviously, they have the wrist stick, but there's nothing, no chemical in the air.
Yeah.
A bunker. I put a bunker would be tits, like here, like our bunker, where you're in the
Bunker
ground
equals tits.
equals tits. You shut the vault door, whatever, and you're locked in. You got food, you got water, you got air filtration. You fucking pop in a video or break out a board game, whatever.
Yeah.
And you just you kick back, and they can go out there and wrist stick whoever, and then they apparently disappear.
Let them scratch at the windows and bang at the doors and stick their fingers under the door until they go away. And for this situation, until they leave, until the Middle Eastern people figure out how to get rid of them. Pretty
Yes.
easy. I mean, all in all, except for the hipsters and the Brits, for this apocalypse, about the easiest apocalypse you could ever
This
face.
is everyone
They don't pose
with a
anything.
little bit of forethought could survive. Because let's say you don't have a bunker. Let's say you're a regular, like most of us, you live at a house. I say house because then you can kind of, like in this scenario, they had a house. If you were to stock, and this guy had a barn, obviously, enough plywood that you could cover every surface, windows, doors, whatever, and you drill that in on the outside, and then you can even put those boards on the inside to double fortify. They're safe. They don't have to worry about the aliens. They can go out there and wrist dick the plywood as much as they want. So if you're just storm prepared, Like you
Yeah.
live in Florida or someplace down south or even California where you get storms all the time. If you're storm prepared, you do that to your house, you're kicking back with a nice cup of tea, riding out the apocalypse.
And to touch, absolutely, and to touch on that, where I grew up, down south, where there was hurricanes. I grew up in the south, right on the coast, and you get a hurricane every couple years. A lot of the houses down there are actually fitted with a bracket type device, and you have your window covers, basically hatches like on a ship. You
Right,
batten down hatches.
okay.
You have a bracket on your windows, and then you have your plywood or whatever window covering that you have. A lot of times just plywood, and then you have something, and you hook it in and drill a couple spots down. It's that easy. It's that fast. Because of the frequency of getting hurricanes and having to board up the windows, they have their stuff already set up, ready to go. So, but not going to be the case in here. But your point.
But yeah, that's
your
my point. Is
just
you could.
all you have to do is have.
And
plywood.
another point is even all through the entire thing, and when they go to the basement, when they get into the attic, when they're done in the basement, they think it's clear and they come back up, the power is still on.
Yeah.
Which means the water's still on. Which means you don't even have an interruption of your utilities.
Right.
You don't even have. The TV went down. That's right. Boo hoo hoo. There's no TV.
Yeah.
So you could board up your house securely, get it all set up. You can sit in your living room, pop in a DVD,
Right.
fire up the PlayStation, Xbox, whatever it is.
Yep.
Fucking Call of Duty your way through the apocalypse.
You might
and
not
they're
have
out there.
Wi-Fi, but you
They're
can-
out there banging. Yeah, yes, you can't. Maybe you can't Wi-Fi and play your
play
buddy.
multiplayer,
You can't multiplayer, but you can single player.
But what if you could? Hey man, you hear this shit going on outside?
Yeah, he's trying to wrist.
Talking to. Yeah, they're fucking wrist stick in my house right now, but I'm in here playing Call of Duty. Oh, good kill. Good
Oh,
kill.
fuck the wrist stick. You know. So again, with a little preparation, which is this whole point of the show, with a little preparation, this one you could ride this fucking out in style.
Oh yeah.
In
This is-
style.
We're starting with an easy one. This one would be no.
Listen,
they
am
don't, they put any
not.
stress on you whatsoever. As long as you don't get wrist sticked, you're good.
I'm not begging for an apocalypse, but if one happens,
I'll take
this
this one.
right now, this is number one. I know it's the first show and our first episode. This is the one I want because this one's fucking so easy to write out. So easy.
You mentioned earlier what your weapon of choice would be.
Super soaker. Fucking super soaker. Which brings us to, we'll jump right to the next category. What weapons
Oh,
are best for you to survive?
gotcha.
A super soaker. Fucking super soaker. Think
Yeah.
about that.
You got like a freaking Vulcan cannon.
You load up a super soaker, you get a basket of fucking water balloons, and you're Arnold Schwarzenegger from Commando. If you don't know the movie, go back and watch it, and you're throwing fucking hate all over these fucking wrist stick motherfuckers. Here's a water balloon. Here's a water balloon. I'm pumping up motherfucker spray.
And the whole family can get involved.
The whole family.
Kids make water balloons. Hell, you can throw a couple if you want to. Just don't get close for them to wrist stick you and you're good.
Hey, what if they throw one and it miss and it lands on you? You're just protected from a wrist stick, and he's gonna come in to grab your shit. He's covered in acid. You're fucking safe. Hey, you know what? Go take a shower. Just stand in the shower. They're gonna come in like, I got you. Oh, fuck
Oh,
you.
I can't touch a guy. Hey, if they're harvesting humans, what are they harvesting for? And if it's for food, how does that go?
I don't know.
It'd be like us biting into a fucking battery.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like drinking a thing of acid. I'm thirsty. Anybody got some acid?
Yeah.
Let me drink this shit. Oh, that bird's going down. Yeah, what are they harvesting for? But again, we're gonna go off of weapons, guns. Nobody uses a gun in this, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to say. I'm not saying guns wouldn't work because they're blunt force like a bat. So if a bat works, a gun should work. If a knife works, a gun should work.
True.
But I guess and we're kind of gun guys. But the only thing I would say is that since they do camouflage very well, again, that is a true strength. They blend in very well. They would be harder to shoot with that because you go to, like you said, maybe you see one, you come up on target, you may not know. Do you want to just start shooting rounds? You could, but what if you miss? You exhaust a magazine. You go to change, he's right there wrist sticking your ass. So, as much as I want to say, have guns for protection, which they're always good for protection, in this case, They can't. They're not. They can't be the number one. They just.
Which is odd because
Which is
I
odd.
believe in almost every single apocalypse scenario, your gun is going to be your number
And probably
one weapon.
every other one, we're probably going to say guns.
Guns. We're gonna
This one,
we're going to touch on which guns you're going to take.
which guns
This
would be
one,
best? Why
we're not
this?
even
Why
gonna get
that?
into it.
Maybe friendly disagreement on what guns to have.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm not saying they'd be bad. A shotgun with spread, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe. But I mean, really, all you would, if a knife worked, and we already touched on how well it worked. What about a sword?
Yes.
You just get a sword, and you think there's one there, and you take a couple of fucking like pirouettes, woo, woo, and you swing that sword around, and there's nobody that you love that's in the area, and it connects. He's fucking gonna apparently fall in half. You're gonna saw him in half. You could just fucking
'Cause they're
twirl
made out
your
of
way.
styrofoam.
They're made out of styrofoam. Apparently, you can fucking twirl your way through the apocalypse. Woo, woo, spin that sword.
Take
woo,
a shower and
woo.
pirouette. And
Fuck. So I mean,
They're gone in
grab
2
an
days and
axe,
call it a
grab
day.
a fucking 2 kitchen knives. You want to be badass? Start swinging them sons of bitches. Grab a sword. Fuck, baseball bats work apparently.
Yeah.
So, edged or blunt force weapons.
So in weapon category, really, any earth-born weapon
Apparently
will work.
A rock, a fucking bow and
Could
arrow.
be.
The only thing I will say with projectile weapons like that is obviously they chameleon. They're chameleons. They're very good at it. And you throw or you shoot or whatever, you might not be able to see what you're hitting. So, as much as I hate to say it, those type of weapons are at a slight disadvantage in this case. Now, I guess,
Yeah, you got to see your target.
yes, your target. I guess if you had like you're up close, and he was unchameleoned, and you could crank off some rounds, it'd be great. But again, a super soaker. Think about that. You pump up, you spray down the room.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. Let's say your kid's in the corner. And he's like, Dad, you fucking squirted me.
Got me wet.
You got me wet. He's safe. The other alien in the corner's like, fuck, my wrist dick. It melts. You just, there he is, motherfucker. Squirt, 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 squirt. He's dead. Perfect. And think about this. Home defense, landmines, a.k.a. sprinkler system. You crank that fucking sprinkler. Oh, they're coming. You hear them running. Turn on the sprinklers. I don't know what the fucking they make. They're dying out in the yard. You're fucking eating mac and cheese in the living room, watching a DVD, fucking drinking a beer like stupid wrist dick aliens.
This is so great.
And if you wanted to be a dick, I'm going back to classic cartoons, classic Three Stooges. If you took a bucket of water and you set it on open a door, crack a door, and set it on the top, you know how it balances in the cartoons, and you open the door, it falls on them. You've just booby-trapped your house. A bucket of fucking water on the top of a door. A classic Three Stooges bit is now a booby trap.
Yes.
You fucking booby. You could just...
You could literally sit in your lazy boy with your back to the door watching TV. You hear a bucket drop. You hear an alien scream. You just kind of look over your shoulder. Okay.
And you've just created a puddle of acid. They can't walk through
Now
it.
they can't walk
Can they
through it.
jump over it? I don't know, but you fucking laughing your ass off at least. A bucket of water is a booby trap. You don't need no fucking claymores. Buckets of water, bitches. A garden hose. You got a flamethrower.
How did this movie even get any traction? Because now that we're talking about it,
Yes,
It's
if you were to
ridiculous.
break it down, and maybe other people, I've never heard anybody break it down like this, but how the fuck, when you're writing this shit, do you not think about these kind of things? I mean,
somebody
seriously.
in the room had to be like, this isn't really scary and it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, these things are just above the annoyance level of a cockroach.
It made $408 million
Oh,
off a $72 million budget.
Well,
Huh?
obviously, we're doing something wrong and they know what they're doing.
I guess.
Here we are making fun, but yeah, we're the idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
So-
but at least we can survive.
But at least we'll fucking
We
survive.
can frickin' survive this apocalypse.
Yes.
Maybe idiots.
We may be idiots, but we'll survive.
Yeah.
So those are your, any other weapons you can think of? I think that kind of... Anything you can find. A gun,
Literally anything.
other than guns, which would work, but again, if you can't see your target, it's they're at a disadvantage here. I would say they're not bad, they're just a disadvantage to everything else. Everything
When
else.
taking a
Projectile
leak,
weapon. Yeah.
when taking a leak is a viable weapon.
Could you imagine you're standing there, pissing, and a fucking wrist stick alien comes bangs open your bathroom door, and all you gotta do is turn your whole body to
around.
see, and he's like, "Fuck!" and he's melting.
My legs.
Oh, my legs! And he
I'm
falls
out.
over. I'm out. I'm out. And you're just like, what the fuck was that?
So basically, I could kill one of these aliens in the middle of the night, drunk.
Yes, if you're drunk
Wow.
in the middle of the night and you've got to take a major piss,
I
you've
like
just
it.
killed an alien.
I like it.
You turn
This
to
is
look,
my
you're like,
This is my favorite apocalypse ever.
Again, this is the best apocalypse to have. If you're going to have an apocalypse. And then think about it. You've beat them so easily. Let's say you emerge from your house, your bunker, your shelter, and you look around. Fucking Joneses got taken? What kind of fucking morons are they? They don't have no fucking squirt guns.
How did they possibly?
They let
get
those
taken by
Ristic
the
aliens come fucking take them? You've lost all street cred if these
for
aliens
sure.
have dominated you.
But then again, now you have another house.
That's true. That's true.
Although there was okay, let's even talk about this. This just brought something to mind. Government. There was no effect to government in this movie at all either. So granted, in that case, you wouldn't have another house because there's still a government.
Right,
structure.
there's still government. There's still going to be law and order quickly restored within, let's say, a week. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe less.
a little bit of fallout.
Little
from just
fallout.
the-
There'll be a little bit of
the
looting.
chaos, but,
Well,
yeah.
okay, the guns are no good against aliens, but against, depending where you live, if there's a little bit of looting and rioting, you protect yourself.
Sure.
Don't use the squirt gun against the rioters and looters. Not as effective as against the Ristic
Try to
aliens.
keep them separated. But I mean, speaking of keeping them separated, once you figured out how non-threatening these aliens are, I mean, shit. If they need to come to our planet because theirs is screwed up, and they want to just like, hey, hang out, and can we like maybe hang out here? All you got to do is not get close to them. You know,
No high fives.
no high fives.
They might try to wrist stick
You
you.
guys could like, you know,
Cool,
walk,
yeah.
go to work,
Yeah.
walk into work together. Hey, Bob, don't get too close with that wrist stick, but you working second shift today, I see. Okay,
Where's Bob?
these are non-threatening.
Yeah, but I will say this. You're like, hey, where's Bob? We got a presentation. I don't know. Did he lock himself in the copy room again? Fuck. Why can't he learn how to use a doorknob? Son of a bitch. Would
We already
someone
had
let
to-
Bob out?
Yeah, we already had to take the door off his fucking office.
Oh, would you
This
fucking let
guy-
Bob out? We need to get this meeting on the way. We all want to go home. And he comes in all ashamed. Yeah, we know you locked yourself. You got fucking fingers, Bob. You can't fucking open it. It's called a fucking doorknob, Bob. You don't know how to fucking use it?
You're lucky for equal opportunity because if I wouldn't be called a speciest,
A species
I'd
is.
fire you.
I'd fucking fire your ass right now. Fucking getting trapped in the copy room. Can't fucking get out.
oh, Bob.
Oh, I guess other considerations, obviously, for an apocalypse of any type. We discuss medicines. Obviously, in this case, that's what perpetuated them leaving the basement so early was the little Culkin had his asthma attack, and they didn't have
They needed medicine. right?
medicine, an EpiPen, or I don't know if he used an inhaler. I can't remember if he ever
Yeah,
used
yeah.
it.
He
Did he
had
use
an
an
inhaler
inhaler?
earlier in the movie.
So he didn't even bring his
And then
inhaler
he
with
didn't
him.
have his inhaler. And
He didn't have
then he had to
anything.
use the EpiPen. So yeah,
Yeah, because it got bad.
that's another thing, people. If you, I mean, this is way more subjective, but you know this. If you have some sort of medical condition, or someone in your family
Yes.
has a medical condition where there's medication that is absolutely required, have extra on hand. I know sometimes that's hard to do because sometimes these
So expensive,
prescriptions
and
can be
yeah.
expensive, but just try to get your doctor to say, can you give me like maybe one more extra prescription just so I can have a little extra on hand? Most doctors will do that as long as it's not some sort of Schedule 2 or a narcotic.
Right.
If it's just a required medication, can you give me an extra month? Can you give me an extra whatever the cycle is so I can have a little extra on hand? If you have any type of severe allergy that causes anaphylaxis, I believe that's the word.
Sure.
Just like in this movie,
Yep.
he went anaphylactic. Have those things on hand.
Yeah, and if you have dry pills or even or I say dry medication like pills, that's even easier. You can
Oh,
stock
way
them up,
easier, yeah.
and wherever you keep your survival supplies, you can put an extra bottle, even if it's just half a bottle, so you have a little bit. Obviously, if it's like an insulin, like it has to be refrigerated or something like that, that's a little extra consideration. You could buy like a little college fridge, like a little,
yeah,
and
that's
put
a
it
good call.
down wherever you keep stuff. Obviously, it's going to lose it's going to lose refrigeration if you lose power. But in this case, you don't lose power.
Right.
So if you've got like a basement or a room that you're going to hole up in, like you choose to stay in your house or wherever, like these people did, you just have a little fridge down there.
Mm-hmm.
You can throw it in there. It runs. You maybe when you get a new batch of insulin, we'll say an insulin, you take the old stuff out, put the new one in, use the old stuff. You can cycle it out. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. You're good. But yeah,
And that's a good call because insulin is probably one of the most common ones out there for something that you absolutely have to have.
yes,
Right?
insulin. Yeah. That's
Very,
a
very
major
common.
one. But
Yeah.
any medications you have, stock up on those. Make sure
Yeah.
you try to get a little bit, even if it's just 72 hours. I mean, like with the food, a bare minimum. If you can have, set aside a few pills or get a doctor or whatever, refill early. And we're not talking like hoarding pills and selling them, but just, set aside enough that maybe you have a disaster and maybe you have a supply anyway and you have a couple days left, but then you have 72 hours worth, 3 days worth. Now you got 5, 6 days. Under most normal survival situations, a natural disaster, things will be restored enough you could probably get more pills. Now, but again, if we're talking long term
Yeah.
apocalypse,
That basically applies to natural disaster.
natural disaster. If we're
You
talking
know,
long term
if you're
apocalypse, like
you're
you're trying to
gonna
prepare,
need-
if you're truly trying to prepare for that, well, you need to really
Need-
think about those medicines.
Yeah.
What do you
And
really
know
need?
Where you can go to raid.
Where you can go and get them.
And just a tip for for everybody out there: if I think at some point we've all been sick to the point that we've been on a round of antibiotics,
Yes.
and it's common that a doctor will give you like one more cycle of antibiotics, sometimes more than what you need. Hey, don't just let that prescription go to waste. Fill that antibiotic
Yes.
prescription, set it on your shelf in your bunker, put it with your supplies because antibiotics will be those will be absolutely priceless in an apocalypse to have antibiotics on hand.
A cut with an infection that
Yeah.
you get today when the world is operating normally is no big deal.
Right.
You maybe go get cleaned up, get some stitches, maybe you get a shot, maybe give you some antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
You knock that shit out of your system. Maybe you get a fever or whatever. A couple days, you're good to go. You're back to doing whatever. But no medications, no medical, whatever. That shit can kill you.
Yeah. And even consider, we take it for granted that just washing your hands after you cut yourself, like you might cut yourself and say, should I better, I think we're all pretty aware that if you cut yourself, first thing you need to do is just wash it.
Yes.
Clean the wound. And most of the time it will heal up fine on its own. But you have to imagine the apocalypse, the end of the world. There's no running water. Water is precious. You're probably not going to wash your hands with it.
Correct.
You might get a cut and just think, and you're going to be way more dirty than you are in this world.
Yes.
The apocalypse, face it, you're going to be dirty. You're going to be dirty all the time. So you cut your hand in the apocalypse, your hand's already covered with filth and dirt and bacteria. That thing can be infected within a couple hours. So
Yes.
just that alone.
Yeah.
There's a
So
big
and
difference
if
there.
there's other sources. I know that there's a fish antibiotic that you can get at pet stores that allegedly is the same as human antibiotic. I've heard some people talk about. Obviously,
I've heard of that.
yeah. So but any medicines that you can kind of even a bottle of ibuprofen
Yeah.
that you can stock with your stuff. It reduces fever,
Right.
reduces pain.
That's a good call.
Something
Because
simple
you
like
could
that.
Just get a simple fever, but if it gets out of control, it could kill you.
Yeah.
So have some NSAIDs,
Yep.
non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug.
Yeah.
Have some of that on hand,
Yeah.
and that's nothing. That's a few bucks a bottle
Yeah.
for like a 200 pill bottle. Buy that.
Yeah, buy 100, 200 pills, something small if you have to, set it aside. Maybe you can then buy a bigger one and swap them out and use the little one up, and then, you know what I mean? But yeah, set that kind of stuff aside.
We're all about building up your supplies.
Build up your supplies, build up your
Do it
supplies.
little by little. Everybody can do it.
Everyone's
There's
on a
no one out
budget.
there-
Most people are on a budget. Most people, money's tight. Things aren't
Right.
great, but a little bit here, a little bit there,
Yeah.
a little, a few bucks here, a few bucks there.
You don't have to buy your entire stock all at once. Just buy a little here, buy a little there. Next thing you know, 2 years down the road, you're going to go down in your bunker or your basement or whatever it is where you keep your stuff, and you're going to look and go, "Wow,
Yeah.
I've actually built
I've got
up
enough that
quite a
maybe
supply
3 months,
here."
6 months,
Yeah.
maybe even a year. I could, if everything, if I can stay here, I can survive a year. I've got a good supply.
Yeah,
That's,
before you know it.
yep.
Just a little bit at a time.
Let's see, coffee, toilet paper. We
Oh.
discussed that. Are you?
Toilet paper's my big one.
Yeah, that's your big one.
I'm called the toilet paper Nazi at the house because if we get below 4 rolls, I'm like, ah, we got to go get more toilet paper. Can't run out.
As funny as that sounds, we all got to shit. Let's be
Uh,
100%
yep,
honest.
yep.
Do you want to wipe your ass with a leaf with an old phone book?
Whole phone book. It's good
Like,
phone.
I mean, you could use the paper if you had to.
Might as well do something with it. They're always throwing them on my damn
Yeah,
driveway.
but ideally, that rough paper on my ass, not my number one choice.
You think I'm grumpy already for the
Fuck.
podcast? That's gonna make me even grumpy.
What if you get a paper cut on your asshole?
Another
I
reason
mean,
to
it's
have
bad enough
antibiotics.
when you get an itchy asshole, and we all know what I'm talking about, that itchy asshole where you really got to scratch it. We've all been there. Let's not pretend like we haven't. But toilet paper, stop. Buy a fucking cheap 4-pack. That's like $1.
Yeah.
Throw it up there. And then next month, same thing.
Yep.
Same as we're talking, just a little bit here, a little bit there. I know it seems overwhelming if you haven't started, but just, again, a little bit at a time.
And if you got women in your family,
Oh, God.
and they're laughing at you because you're buying toilet paper to put in your supplies, which they probably already look at you like you're crazy. Let's be honest, the girls always think we're crazy.
Yes.
But if it all does go to hell, you will be a fucking rock star if you have toilet paper stocked in the basement.
Yes.
Don't let them laugh at you.
Yes.
Because they'll appreciate it more than probably you will.
Feminine products, kind of.
Yeah, we touched on that.
We touched
the other
on
day.
that.
We're just talking feminine. I mean, hey man,
Back to basic biology.
I'm willing to stock that stuff for them because
Yes.
I'll be honest. Yes, it's for their use only, but it's also a selfish
Well, no,
situation for myself
You-
because I really want them to have feminine products. I don't want to have to deal with the alternative solution
yes,
for that.
but double use. What is it? It's a wad of cotton in a tight package that you could, in theory,
Oh yeah.
stick in a wound.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't want to get shot, you don't want to get stabbed, you don't want to get cut, but
Right.
you could
Mhm.
use a tampon to stick in a bullet wound, to stick in a cut, to stick. It's going to absorb. It's the
Yeah.
same as gauze, basically. So you could, if you don't have a lady in your life, you could still use it for something.
Right. I have a combat medic friend of mine who years ago made a little just kind of go bag medical kit for me.
Right.
Because that was his thing. And I'm like, oh, thanks, man. This is great. I'm going through the kit. And there's like a handful of tampons in there. I'm like, real funny, dude. He goes, what? And I'm like, tampons, give me a break. You threw a little joke in here. I get it. It's
Haha,
it's
I'm a
funny.
pussy. You're
Yeah,
making a
yeah.
joke.
All right,
Whatever.
yeah,
Ha
for
ha
my
ha.
vaginitis. Thank you very much. Okay, throw those away. No. Keep those. Okay, why? Every battle medic out there right now has tampons in their kit because right now that's one of the best things that we have out there to plug a wound, to just that initial stopping the bleeding, plugging up a bullet wound. We plug a lot of times we'll just stick a tampon in there, just sticks right in, and now when it gets to the point that you're going to go into surgery, just grab the string, pull that thing right out. It never occurred to me. Obviously, I'm not a battle medic, but holy shit, it's brilliant.
A
And
bleeding
now-
hole is a bleeding hole. Not to be gross. Not to be gross. I might get some
Oh,
flack
you
if
went
there,
there.
if there's a female listener out there. I might get a little
If.
flack. But a bleeding hole is a bleeding hole,
Yeah.
and it does have that string.
Sorry,
Perfect.
ladies. Remember, Drew said that, not Frank.
Yes,
Not me.
you stick it in there, and you've got the little cord, and you can pull it out
Yeah.
if
When
you
it's
had
time
to
for
for whatever time for surgery, time for whatever,
Or to change the just
or to
the
change it.
dressing.
Maybe you pull it out, the bleeding's kind of stop, and you do something else. I don't know. I'm not a medic. I'm not a EMT, but it's.
Hopefully, in your little group at the end of the world, you'll have a medical officer. I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
you'll have a
that's
nurse
another
or somebody
consideration.
to have
You might want to think about, maybe taking some basic EMT classes or something.
Oh,
Something, if you've got the time and the money that you can do it. Again, this is all subjective. It's not the easiest thing in the world to come up with time and money. But if you could do that, that would be worth it. If you could kind of go down that road and learn basic medical skills. Now, if you've got a nurse or a doctor in the family that you've already established is coming to your place, or you've got you're even better. Your tits right there. You got a doctor or a nurse practitioner or something like that.
Absolutely. That's even better than you. Not that you shouldn't still try and get some basic knowledge.
Right, because you can't.
Hey, you never know. Your medical officer might get killed. But
Yeah, but I mean, it's at least you have somebody that, and that's in a real apocalypse situation, that's a skill that you could. I don't want to say prostitute them out, but you can trade. Hey,
point.
I can mend him. It'll cost a bag of flour, a bag of whatever,
point.
a bag of a box of ammo, whatever. So that's
because it's going to be a bartering system
yes.
in an apocalyptic situation.
If everything
It's gonna
shuts down, it's going to be back to bartering.
Let's be honest. Paper money is going to be worth. It's going to be as good as toilet paper.
Yeah.
You wipe your ass with it.
Exactly. So it's going to be paper. Yeah. So in this scenario, we did bring up entertainment. We kind of touched on it, but a board game to take in the basement.
Yeah, if you
cards,
got kids,
some cards. You got kids.
have some sort of
something,
entertainment. Because if you're locked down there for more than hell, these days with attention spans, if you're down there for more than 5 minutes, they're going to want something.
I don't know if Wi-Fi. This was before Wi-Fi, I think, where Wi-Fi was big. So you don't know was Wi-Fi affected. Can they still chap snat and twit and book of faces, whatever? If they can they do all that stuff still? OMG, aliens are trying to wrist dick me. So bored.
We've been down here for 4 minutes.
We've been down here for, it's like 20 minutes. I'm going to die. I can't wait to get wrist dicked. I'm just so bored. Something like, books, whatever they're into,
Foosball tables,
foosball, whatever.
Games,
card games,
this
pool.
Extremely well supplied bunker.
Something to keep your mind off of things, to keep you entertained.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well,
I think that was.
I think we've about covered.
I think we've about covered for this one.
In summary, best apocalypse ever.
Best apocalypse yet. I know it's the
Easiest
first
aliens
one.
ever.
But we've kind of laid out where we're going next, and I don't see for a while anything coming close to this just fabulous, and I mean that apocalypse. Just like, really? This is how you want to try to end the world?
Yeah, I think some flat tire on the way to work is more of an inconvenience.
With these idiotic wrist-dicked aliens? I mean, seriously. Hey, I'm not voting for an apocalypse, but right now this is number one on mine.
Yeah, it's definitely number one on my team. You, if this continued, they would be going to work with you.
They would be going to work with you. Whoa, was that a bottle of water? What are you trying to kill me here? What's going on? Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. Sorry,
Bob called off again because it's raining. Can you believe this shit? I swear, if
he
I
could definitely not be a postman.
I would fire him.
Yes, he's definitely not a postman.
No,
he calls off.
Not a postman.
Yeah, well, snow. I'll go. All of a sudden, snow's frozen. They can't go snowy areas. It's like water. God, you're fucking idiots. You came to the worst planet ever. Worst planet. Yeah. All right. Well, next week we're going to be on the letter B.
Yep.
Hopefully, come back and catch us next week, and we'll let you know what we're going to be talking about. But until then, I'm Drew.
I'm Frank.
And
we had fun.
We had fun. We're here to help you survive, and we'll catch you later.